All right, it should be live. Okay. Hopefully I fixed the bitrate error I kept getting on the previous streams, so this works a little better. Can you see me live? Okay. Perfect. 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 Okay, so I am working on part two of the United States all-out strike on China, trying to see just how large the casualties would be, with China being a very densely populated country, at least part of it. Part of it's extremely barren. Um, and so I ran it with the AI on the previous video, and now I'm trying to see if manually targeting I can do better. So I have started with the ballistic missile subs. I moved them all close to the border, not for any scenario purposes other than to make it easier to click and then target, click and target. But you can see here, these are the targeting plans I already have, and so you can see, Shanghai, Greater Shanghai, Beijing, Greater Beijing, Chongqing. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I tell you, in Lexington, Kentucky, there is a Chinese restaurant, Panda Cuisine, not Panda Express, Panda Cuisine, and they have Chongqing chicken there, which is just a Szechuan chicken, and it's freaking amazing. They've had a ton of health code violations, but that's usually your best Asian places or ones with a lot of health code violations. Wuhan. Good evening as well to my wonderful assistant. And so, and then you can see here, this is the trajectory and stuff, but this would be the actual target. So let me click that off. And so I have done all the sub-launched ballistic missiles. So now I'm going to be going into the ICBMs, and I really focused on working from our most highly populated cities down. And so I read that differently earlier. You can probably guess how I read this. And I didn't see the end. I thought that was two M's. So anyways, that's the next one. So the subs are all merved. The ICBMs are not merved. So I thought it would be easier just to start with the subs. Target. So each of these Minuteman 3s have the 335 kiloton warhead. Oh, one thing, anytime start. So if you guys can see this, I put this kind of off screen. I got one of those Samsung G9, so this is like 49-inch ultra wides. And so it makes it easier to target, but I leave this kind of off screen, so you're probably not seeing what I was talking about. But one thing to keep in mind, anytime, no matter if you've been doing this, you got to set your height. And so I default to 500 meters. And that was allegedly what they tested with the atomic bombs and felt that would cause the most amount of casualties. And you could use a mix of surface and air burst. But so usually when I set some for a densely populated area, I will look and see is there something nearby that kind of greater area that's got a fairly high population. So remember, this is strictly about causing the maximum amount of casualties possible. There's no strategic or in like industrial or military targeting. Okay. So what would be next? Some of these as I work my way down to. So, and this is where I'm kind of taking it from right here. So just list, and so I'm on number 21. Now, mind you, some of these I've already hit because of they're near like a larger city. And I'll be honest with you too, this a little time consuming because I have no idea where, some of these locations are. Tell you. Don't have a clue. So in this one, I think I targeted this one already, but let me just I'll play on the safe side there. Now I know Ching Chun. That sounds like a little kid making fun of the Chinese language versus actual proper place. I know I've targeted this one already when I did Harbin. So I know I don't need to do that one. Let's go here. So this one. What am I looking for here? Seaman. There she is. Go ahead and throw a couple there. Okay. Little bit time consuming. How many have I made it through so far of these? Okay. I'm on 27 and it goes down to 150. It's doing both screens at once. And this is where I start to talk about there's going to be some level of redundancy. So at times you may think, man, why is he choosing that target? And it's probably a very viable question, but its fact is there's a ton of warheads to go around. So I'm having a hard time with this one, Hensel. Okay, so I targeted this one already with the Greater Shanghai. So one thing, if anyone's ever wondering why it appears like I am wearing the same t-shirt in these videos, a lot of these videos, if you can hear that crap in the background, that's the reason why I wear the same t-shirt a lot of times. It's one of our cats, little one, and if I'm lounging on the sofa, she has a tendency to jump on me and dig her claws, so it ends up wrecking my shirts and my shorts. So when I'm lounging at my house, I tend to wear the same ones that she's wrecked already instead of my nicer ones. So that's why you oftentimes see this green one. Plus, usually I make these videos after I'm training in our gym, so another reason why I feel about half dead right now. 20 sets of delts. That's a pretty easy one, but alright. God, this is getting tedious trying to find some of these smaller ones. I may start taking a slightly different approach, especially as I'm getting towards ones that are getting smaller and smaller size. Why am I not finding this one? It should be. It should be right in here. I really need a Chinese person to help me out. There it is. Okay, and I have not hit this one. Sorry. Kind of weird. Okay, can you help me out to bomb your cities? It'd be funny if this was like the last Starfighter, that movie, and so I do this and finalize all this targeting, and the U.S. government comes, hey, we want you to, you passed the test. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather not be responsible in any way, shape, or form for the potentiality of millions of people getting killed. The best part, if you can hear that at all, the best part is at like 3 in the morning when the cat starts doing that. That's the best part. Oh, you know, there it is. No. What in the fuck? I mean, it should. Oh, you know what it is? Yeah. I've already got this one. I misinterpreted where it was. Okay. All right. Don't do Hanoi. I'm going to start taking a slightly different approach. I think I've hit all the top cities. Since I know these haven't been hit, let me get some of these done. Don't want to drop too many because these are fairly sparsely populated, but I think that was one of the things that AI used far more missiles than I thought they should have. in this area. Now, clearly in this scenario, because I'm not actually dropping nuclear bombs, it's just a simulation. I don't really have to worry about fallout crossing into other countries, which would be a legitimate concern if we are, say, trying to take out, or we were trying to strike China, but we didn't want to involve Russia. That we may avoid targeting certain areas near the borders, maybe depending on wind direction. Okay, I already got Zion. Most of the cities I actually chose smaller warheads to target a lot of the cities that were highly populated. With a ton of redundancy. But I kind of feel like in these more sparsely populated areas, these higher warhead yields will stretch out and hit more surrounding stuff. Oh, I misread that one. But oh well. Okay, so Beijing is very well targeted. In fact, everything up here is very well targeted. So, and so is a lot of this. So I've got most all of that. Let's see, how far down am I on the list? So I know I hit most of those. I may start, and I'm doing a little bit now, but I'm not going to do a lot. But I may start filling in the blanks on some of these areas. Once I finish with this set of ICBMs, and then we'll back out and I'll test to make sure everything shoots correctly, and then I can look at everything that's targeted so far, start identifying ones that are where we have gaps. Just because you can never have enough, I'm going to give Shanghai an extra one. I'll give Beijing an extra one too. These already have a ton of targets, but since they're so large, you want to make sure there's not somebody squirming. remember when I did the targeting on Russia on the United States. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There was just so many warheads, and kind of in that same situation here where it's like there's a lot of stuff that would be kind of, say, pointless to target most likely, but simply because there's so many. You can afford to be generous. Somebody, so I did a shorts video on this Chinese strike, and most of the shorts video I do are just, about our cats, just random things. I mean, people don't generally watch shorts for nuclear war simulation. But it's funny because somebody commented, said, basically, I don't think China would be a big fan of the United States after that. And I would have to wholeheartedly agree with that assessment. Probably not going to be big fans. Somebody jumped on. I said something to the effect of, I don't think we'll be getting any Christmas cards. And somebody said something as if the United States would even still be there to get a Christmas card. Like, what do you mean? Do you mean, physically not there? Do you mean like in a sense of the country? And say, okay, well, China did strike back and use their arsenal. Yes, you could maybe say that there'd be some difficulties on a national level keeping the bureaucracy, depending on who and how they survive. But, I mean, the landmass will still be there. A large portion of the people will still be there. I think when it comes to nuclear war, people fall into one of two camps. They either severely overestimate it and think, okay, one bomb will destroy an entire city, and I mean, even some of these larger warhead yield sizes, it's not really going to be the case. And there's some that underplay it completely, and or think that, we have defense mechanisms that will stop any attack. Well, no, not really. We have 44 ground-based interceptor missiles. And we have some other stuff that may work. The SM-3 intercepted an ICBM-like test target. Still curious what they meant by ICBM-like. All right. Ooh, accidentally retargeted some. Oh well. Let's call this ICBM-1. Since I targeted, it's not really based on any smaller cities. All right. So that's one of our ICBM sites. So what I do now, I'll save. I did do that, right? Save as a sandbox. I don't think I did. Okay. So now I'm going to run a test. And this is to make sure everything works like it should. I've already seen plenty of times with the subs. So just want to make sure that we see this one. Attack plans. Let's go ahead and do all. Yeah. Looks like it's working as should. Of course, these bad boys are coming in. Let's skip things ahead a little bit. Alrighty. So this is the subs and one of our ICBM fleets. We still have 2 more ICBM fleets and the bombers. So if you saw my video, the AI had 222 million casualties total. So remember, this is just a fraction of our forces. Look at that. I've already almost doubled their casualties. 436 million. And then you want to count Hong Kong, and let's just say overall 437, because North Korea got a bit. So I am clearly a far more efficient killer than AI. All right. So then I'll have to go back and load, because I don't want to save that, because I want to keep working. All right, so here's where I want to start checking. Let me see here. So there's still quite a bit of stuff up here. So let's look at my attack plans. Okay. So I don't think I've targeted anything north of Harbin. I have this stuff over here. So there's all this stuff right here. Okay. So that's a good section to work on. Let's go to Greater Beijing. So I still have that Tong. So I still have that, and I still have rain starting to pick up. So I have most of this stuff in here, but there's a few. What about, I think, is there one already for Jinan? Jinan. Yep, so there's one for that. So I've got that mostly covered. I wonder if I can leave that up. Or if that's going to mess things up when I... So let's see if I... Let's go with this one. Nah, it's not going to work. Oh well. Just have to do the best I can. So one limitation I wish you could see. The existing target's easier. Rain's coming down now. Pretty sure I've already got them, but let's see, we're going to get some redundancy here. And I want to... Oh, a lot of targeting. So if you're just now jumping on, I did all my really in-depth targeting, going largest by smallest city. Wait a minute. So now I'm just finding as much pockets of civilization as I can. Hey, did you see the chat? Alrighty. Criminy, there's a lot of these bad boys. Gracias. After I finish this targeting, I'll probably have to end this stream. I should call that person back. Although they could jump on my live stream and chat through that. Got a couple more for Wuhan. Let's see exactly what other kind of biological agents we can release. Although I believe the explosion would destroy everything. I don't know if they would survive. It's hotter than the sun. I'm just targeting the crap out of stuff right now. Let's get to the end of this. Big pet peeve of mine is not answering your phone. So I always want to be considered reliable. Then again, private business dealings, probably not the best idea to blast that on a live stream. Although, if anybody's seen, there was a change of command ceremony for Army Special Forces. And as I panned to somebody that was on webcam, because I do them remotely, I guess, still, it flashed a video of some guy jerking off. So I don't know if it was that person or if somebody was having a funny and broadcast it. Who knows? Shit. Got too hog wild. Started doing Minutemen again. Oh well. ICBM 2. Done. Save. And then we'll test it out. And then I really need to... I'm going to have to actually do some pen and paper, so I won't live stream it, but I will... just to make sure I'm not having any gaps before I do the last ICBM one. So let's... OCD's kicking in. Let me make sure I saved it. Okay. Let's go back. Attack plan. All plans. Just go back and make sure this works as intended. Did I do this one or this one? Well, I think I got my answer. All right. Let's move forward a little bit. Let nature take its course. So what was that? 436 million? $488 million. So I have definitely doubled the casualties that AI was able to do by far. So almost 490. So I still have one ICBM fleet left. I have no doubt I'll be able to get to at least 500 million. And so stay tuned. Video should be out maybe today. Not today, I'm sorry. Tomorrow or maybe Thursday. So we shall see. But I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks. Make sure start spreading the good word.